Hello there. Welcome to the most Chrustmussy time of the year, with no Chrustmus video. So where's the Chrustmus video? Well, that's a very good question. I'm not gonna get it done. It's not gonna get done. I have the monster built, I have the props, I have a song written for it. It's kind of halfway there, but to film it and get it edited in time for Chrustmus just isn't gonna happen this year. So it'll come next year. I promise we'll see it eventually. You can wait. I hope. Please stay. So, I'm doing a very Chrustmussy Q and A instead. That's what we all want, right? More of me talking about myself. That's certainly what I want more of. It's my favourite topic. I can't get enough of talking about myself. So, Q&As. Answering questions about me. So, I asked for questions on a YouTube community post and Twitter, and got loads of questions. Thank you. Much more than I was expecting. How was the weather in the barbecue realm? The weather was crispy. Crispy, ashy, and full of old congealed grease. Yeah, that's what the weather was like in there. Are you planning to bring your art to another level, like trying a different medium or adding new skills? Yes, I always try and add new things to each video I make, so I always try and finesse processes or bring in little new techniques. If you watch the last making of video, my alien barbecue video, you'll see how I brought in quite a few new techniques, and a lot of them didn't work. Animatronics, for one, is something I really want to try going forward. I attempted it in that video, didn't work at all, but I want to do it properly. I want to try again and, yeah, do it well. If you could change one thing about one of your previous videos, what would you change? The answer to this question is always my acting, because that is not fun to watch back. I think I've got a little bit better, but still, yeah, even new videos, it's a struggle. So the answer's always my acting. Has quarantine impacted your video inspirations in any way? Yes, it has. A lot, actually. You might notice this year I released fewer videos than I normally do. Partly because I'm always try to be more ambitious with each new video, so there's new things that are taking me longer that I carry forward from video to video, so the process gets longer and longer. But there's also partially because I've just not felt inspired this year. I've really struggled to think of decent ideas that I'm getting excited enough about to make for you guys, and I don't want to churn out any old nonsense because I respect you guys too much to just put filler content out, and I don't enjoy making that stuff. It's stuff I've got to be really passionate about to make it. So yeah, I've really struggled this year in that regard. I saw you had participated in Monster Bash this year on Miscast's channel. Which creature had you made for that? I was part of Monster Bash initially. For you that don't know what Monster Bash is, I'll link to the playlist in the description as well. Have a look. So you'll put a bunch of random body part cards into a hat, draw a load of cards, and then build a monster from that. It's a group of very talented creators who just build a load of monsters for fun. It's awesome. And Trent from Miscast was very kind in inviting me. I love you, Trent. I'm hoping I'll get invited next year because I had to bail this year. Basically, my kid was sick and we all got sick, and I couldn't build this huge 6-foot foam Godzilla chicken I was going to build. Yeah, I was a bit sad about that. If you were stranded on a deserted island and you had to be stuck with one of your latex creations, which would it be and why? That's a good question. I'm guessing if I was stranded on a desert island, it would have to be the lockdown buddy, because he would be the one that could sustain me. I could get tins of beans, I could get hand sanitizer for when I had to wrestle with a fish and I had slimy fish hands. I could sanitize my hands. Toilet paper. I mean, you're going to need toilet paper on a desert island. And haircuts, and you'd be out in the open so the spores wouldn't be such an issue. Yeah, I'm going lockdown buddy. I think most of the other ones would just drive me insane. I would love to know what your favourite meaty creation of the year was. Well, it'd have to be the Kevins. I loved the Kevins. I think that was my favourite video of the year I made, was Kevin's Bunker. Although watching it back the other day, I dragged out the joke of 4 guys being called Kevin for far too long. And they just look cool. I just like the look of them. It's so simplistic, but they just look funny. I noticed you were using Citadel paints. Do you collect the models as well? And if so, can we see your army? I do have an army. 40k Death Guard army. But I'm not going to show them to you because only half of them are painted, not very well. Obviously, I went for a Death Guard army. They've got lumps, slimy bits, pustules, all the good things. My friends got me into it before the first lockdown, and then lockdown happened and we haven't been able to play much. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's very fun. Of all the props you've made over the years, which would you say had the worst time, effort to content value? Well, if you watched my last tutorial making of a barbecue, you'll see moaning about the whisper squid, and it's got to be the whisper squid. The squid that took me probably near to a month to make, just the squid. It didn't work how I wanted it to work, and it was only on screen for like 10 seconds. So, the squid. hands down that squid. If you were given unlimited time and budget to make a movie, what kind of movie would you make? Well, it would be a horror comedy, I guess, with practical monster effects, obviously. But yeah, horror comedy feels like my niche, although it would be more on the horror side than the stuff on my channel is. I don't know, who knows? Something like The Thing meets The Mighty Boosh? Nah. I don't know how that would translate to a film. I have a few ideas for films, and I'd love to make some short films and maybe a feature one day. But who knows? Do your neighbours think you're insane? Not in this house, because I think I've managed to avoid them knowing what I do. However, in my last house, they definitely knew. I lived in a terrace house, so they could hear me shouting through the walls. And plus, there's a lovely old couple that lived on one side. One day when the chap was out in his garden, he looked up at our bedroom window and saw me without a shirt on, absolutely covered in blue paint. So I think he had an inkling that I was doing something strange. I don't know if he knew what. And he never asked me about it. You know, I saw him quite a lot to chat to. And he never asked me why I was head to toe covered in blue paint, half naked. We don't like to talk about these things. But he definitely thought I was crazy. Have you ever thought about making your own video game? Absolutely I have. I would love to make my own video game. I have some ideas, I guess. The only thing holding me back is not knowing how to code, build assets, how to even begin making a video game. But yeah, other than that, I'm set. My heart tells me I'd go like 16-bit pixel meat. Yes, I would love to. But I'd have to find clever people who would know how to do all the stuff. And that means I'd have to talk to people on the phone and pay people money, which obviously I would do, but I would need money to pay them the money. Have you ever been approached with professional practical effects work? No. I haven't, because, don't get me wrong, I like my videos, I like the stuff I make, but they're of a style. You know, I can't imagine there's many filmmakers that look at my stuff and go, I'm making a realistic horror movie. I want this guy who makes lockdown buddies and stuff. My portfolio's not probably lending itself well to most, I guess, horror filmmakers. I guess this doesn't scream a Hollywood blockbuster to people for some reason. I don't know why. So, thanks for watching the Q&A. I hope it was entertaining. This was fun. Of course it was fun. I was talking about myself for 10 minutes. Of course I enjoyed myself. So whatever you do, most importantly, stay safe. Have a good Chrustmus. If you can, see the people you love. I hope you can. And after a hard year, I just want to say thank you for sticking around and watching my stuff. Yeah, it does mean a lot. I'm sorry there was no Christmas video. I hope this kind of plugs the void a little bit. I will be back, and in greater numbers. Yes, I've got some things I'm excited about for next year already, so that's good. That's promising. It's been tough to get excited this year, so that is good. So there will be things. But no, seriously, have a good Chrustmus, and stay safe. Okay, thank you, bye. It's very Chrustmussy down here.